All right, welcome to International Business Radio, live from our Pro Business channels, streaming around the world and through the U.S. and beyond to all continents at some point, whether it's live or our podcast. Rich Casanova here from the Pro Business Channel studios alongside Craig Williams. Craig, unbelievable today, or what? Right?
It is. I mean, this weather is outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah. Unless you're listening to it another time of the year, then yeah, or in a different time zone, yeah, then the weather is on your, you're on your own as far as you bring your own weather, right? BYOW?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
All right. So, but we've got a great special guest here in the studio. We've been visiting with a little bit before the show, had checked out the website, and we'll do a formal introduction in just a second, but so, Craig, I think this is your first time sitting in on International Business Radio.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I've sat in, but I've not spoken.
You're at the big table now, whatever.
Yeah. I've been on the outskirts.
Yeah, so this will be fun. I know you do your own show here at the Pro Business Channel studio as well, right?
Business Authority Radio, and I co-host a couple of other shows that we have at the Pro Business Channel.
Yeah. Yep, and two out of the three, at least, I have an acronym related to adult beverages.
We have Ale and Bar.
Yeah. So stay tuned to check out the channel for those shows. But let's go ahead and jump into this episode of International Business Radio. And we have a guest joining us in the studio. Alexander, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon.
And help me with the pronunciation of your last name.
Vomo.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I could have got that right without any help, yeah.
But
you never know, right?
You didn't even give it a try. Come on.
I know, I should have at least tried.
They always have different.
Okay, let's rewind. Welcoming Alexander Vomo to the studio. So you're born in Central Africa, Zambia?
Yes.
How long here in the U.S.?
I've been around for close to 15 years now.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you get back that way very often, or?
Yeah, actually, because of my business,
you
know, we try to concentrate more of our business in the African countries.
Okay.
You know? So I'm always back and forth every 3 to 4 months. Back in Africa, you know.
Nice. Getting a lot of stamps on your passport?
Oh, yeah, and a lot of questions when I'm coming back. What did you go to do? You know?
Right, exactly. Did we see?
Like they don't want me to go out, you know.
Right, yeah, make up your mind. You're going to stay here or not, right? Is that
exactly. That's what I always go through. You know, they always have to ask me, what exactly going on? I saw you were out a few months ago, and then you're back again. What's happening, you know? So I
don't travel a whole lot international, but when I do, it's like always, they drill you on these questions. You feel like they're trying to catch you off guard. For no reason at all, I tend to sweat and kind of like get nervous, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when the blue lights come on behind you. All right, so let's continue with our introduction. So you moved to the USA in pursuit of a better life after the company you were working with closed down. You worked for a number of companies here in the U.S. By 2009, Crossland International, Inc. was formed. Your entrepreneurial project started while still in Africa, running a business owned by a close relative. Who was the relative?
Sure. Yes, there was a time I was running a family business. My cousin...
Right.
There was a time I was running a family business. My cousin owned a chain of shops, you know, like groceries. I was managing that, and I started getting a lot of ideas about running my own business, you know. So I started doing all that, and I got so much interested in. So after moving here and working with other companies, I started seeing a lot of opportunities, you know, and then going back and forth to Africa, visiting. A lot of people wants me to buy them this, buy them that. So from there, I started, you know, I think I can take this into another level, you know. So from there, that was the beginning of Crossland International.
Nice. And so fast forward, you've been, like you mentioned, here in the States for 15 years?
Yeah, close to 15 years, yeah, sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And was that when you launched Crossland International then? Or?
No, Crossland International actually just started about 2009.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Before that, I was working with different companies here and there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so give us a little backstory then, now that we've kind of gotten a little know about yourself. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about Crossland and the folks that they help and kind of what was the idea behind it.
Yes. Crossland International is an international trading company, which, you know, a lot of African companies have, a lot of African countries have a lot of mining, you know, different minerals, and we tend to come in between the manufacturers and the end users as like distributors. We work with a lot of manufacturing companies, which, like, for instance, if I look at China, there are a lot of manufacturing companies going on in China, and we try to come in, and me being a person that has come from Africa and living here, I try to use that opportunity and market for those products from China and other countries. So when I get into African countries, I market the products as well as registering that company. So we come in between and sell products to the end users as a middleman, in other ways.
So are you like a business broker?
Yeah, I'll put it that way.
You're the bridge. You're the bridge.
What happened is that, let's say there's a company in Africa looking for a product. Let's say this company is looking for a spare part, like maybe a water pump. So they will send an inquiry, but you have to register with that company. So they'll send you an inquiry. We're looking for a water pump. Then you bid. You research if you're able to supply that part they're looking for, and then if your price comes better, they'll let you go ahead and supply to them. Then you go back to the people that you work with, like the manufacturing company. Then
you sound like the African Alibaba.
Yes. You know how it goes with Alibaba. Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, my company has an account with Alibaba, so we work with that.
I get
and every time I'm looking for something, first, if I don't have an account with manufacturers, I just go on Alibaba. And say I'm looking for a water pump, I'm looking for whatever I'm looking for. Then a lot of companies will start sending me, this is what we can sell you.
Most definitely.
Then I'll send all those to those end users in Africa and tell them I found this at this price. So it's like you're marketing for the manufacturers.
So how much of your transactions are kind of one-offs where they're just in that immediate need, or does it become a one-off and turn into ongoing, or is there certain companies that have, in terms of a business, pro-business, we look at the business model, kind of grasp. So is there ongoing orders?
It's actually growing, because what happened is that let's say this company that told me they're looking for a water pump, as an example, like I gave her, right? They've never used that type of a water pump. Like right now, I'm using a water pump as an example because there's a company in Japan that I'm working with.
Okay.
I'm distributing their water pumps in Africa. And most of those water pumps are being used by water and sewerage companies. So if you introduce that water pump to this company, the company will tell you, we like this water pump. Next thing, they might give you another order.
Oh, yeah.
Then they end up using those. It goes on as an ongoing thing, you know. Yes.
That's pretty exciting. So I understand there's manufacturing and production.
Yes.
What do you specialize more so? I mean, what's your niche? I mean, the thing that you're really hot about.
Okay, to start with, I have an engineering background. I worked in Africa with injection and blow molding machineries, where we used to make the plastic crates.
Right.
So with that interest, actually, that was the beginning of my business. A lot of companies were looking for buying those machineries, and then I ended up being in a position whereby I could help this company to buy those machineries and help them to install them, like set up the bottling plant.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to stick with that kind, I wanted now to go into other machineries, and it's not just mining in the machineries that we do. We are even working with another company in China that manufactures the biomedical products. So I'm still going into healthy equipments, like health biomedical products. They use like syringes, vials, all those types, We're trying to market for the certain company that I'm working with.
Well, I definitely understand. I mean, Africa is one of the most resource-rich continents on the planet.
Is, yeah.
And I could see how the continued business, because there's so much mining and so many resources there is a constant needing of ordering, even not just being used there, but abroad. So it's a great training ground for any products that are being released in other countries see them be tested, proven, and then see that track record. I mean, you could do a case study pretty much on the continent. As far as the medical piece, that's an area that all of us are more and more interested in.
Yes.
And where there's great movement, there's always great need for that health and the medical piece to be alongside that, because we tend to work and not take care of ourselves. So there has to be that support system too.
Exactly.
What other industries are you focusing on as well with your business?
Well, mostly it's get into most of it. We're looking at just supplying different medical, mining equipment,
food and beverage.
Food and beverage. There is a company that if on my website there's a company in Zambia that makes the beverages. It's called Links. I started working with that company. I do a lot of consultation for them. We work together and bring the machinery so that this company can start making its own bottles. So those drinks that are being manufactured by Links Zambia Limited, which is in the Copper Belt, I'm trying to start bringing those drinks. Actually, we've been bringing in as samples because there's a program called African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's a U.S. trade act. That act is helping a lot of African countries to bring in a lot of different commodities on duty free.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that advantage because Zambia, as a country where I come from, is part of the countries that is eligible to export duty free, depending on what kind of commodities. And talking about the beverage, that beverage can be exported into the USA and be sold on farmers market and these other stores, distribution channels at no cost on duty, you know.
So your margins are increased if you could manufacture it there and not have to rely on other entities outside of Africa to make the machines that you make. You make them here in Zambia. You produce the product in Zambia. Your margins are going to increase right there, especially since it's duty-free. Now in distribution and export, it's going to be that much more profitable for you. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does, yeah. And, a lot of countries in Africa, they are still in a developing process, which is an advantage to do business there right now. Because if you look at Zambia's GDP is been increasing at about between 7.7% to almost getting as high as 7.2%. And you're looking at the GDP of about $26 billion. So it's a small country that is still growing. So it's still trying to attract a lot of investors. Most of the mines are being owned by a lot of outsiders,
foreign internationals,
Yes, like Glencore is one of the biggest mining owning company in Zambia.
It sounds like a lot of opportunity at this stage. So just want to remind our listeners, you're listening to International Business Radio with your host, Rich Casanova and Craig Williams. We're having a conversation with Alexander Vomo with Crossland International. And so you're talking about the importing and avoiding the duty. Could we create our show over in Zambia and then import it for less?
Oh yeah, sure.
I think we're doing that right now.
With the network system, you can work anywhere.
You got to love it today. Yeah. So back to this idea, because I was looking at your website earlier about the blow molding.
Yes.
Is that similar, or is there's new technology in the print space, right, where they can create a digital mold of virtually every
3D,
right?
3D, yeah.
Is that
no
similar or very different, or is it competitive, or
blow molding is
mainly for plastics?
If you look at plastic bottles, bottles comes out of a blow molding. It's out of low density polyethylene granules. Sure. Then you make a preform, which looks like a test tube.
Right.
Then you send it to another machine, which is a blow molder. So that blow molder will blow that little.
Is that exclusively for plastics you're talking about?
It could be plastics. Mostly when you look at blow molding and injection moldings, it's the product that comes out of it is plastic. Plastic can be anything. Anything of polyethylene.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, I guess what I was just wondering is with the digital 3D printing, are those kind of just one-offs? Is there, is that competing with that space, or is it very different?
No, that's a different category. Because 3D comes more of the network technology, because it has to go into the printing and
you have to transfer the artwork to computer language, and then
computer language.
It's digitized, but you still need the raw material that goes in the printer.
Right.
As opposed to ink, you need the plastic or whatever.
That's what I was just wondering, is that new technology going to take over the blow molding, or is it just so completely different that it wouldn't really apply?
It's completely, because if you look at the 3D, the way it is, it's more of
Volume.
computerized volume.
Yeah, it's
So
going to
the
be
blow
more
molding.
volume. Yeah, the blow molding, I think it'd be more efficient. Yeah.
You're talking about food and beverages. We do a food and beverage radio show here as well, and I saw on your site the guava. Is that another?
That's the same company, Links Zambia
That works,
Limited, that I work with. You know,
Okay.
most of the time, every time I'm in Zambia, actually, Crossland International, the office in Zambia, operates within that company, Links, because we are kind of like a sister company.
Okay, yeah.
You know, we work together with Links Zambia Limited.
Right.
You know,
But you didn't bring any guava juice with the studio? with you?
None. So he's drinking
You
our
should
water,
have-
though.
You should,
He
have
is drinking
asked,
our
you
water.
should have asked for that guava just before I came because
know,
I was just coming back from Zambia.
Oh, really?
Well, you have our mailing address,
Yeah.
and we'll take a shipment
Duty
whenever-
free.
Yeah,
You know
duty
what?
free. Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll be talking.
We're
You know,
just giving
it's
you a hard
7
time.
hours time difference in
Yeah.
Zambia right now. Tomorrow I'll be talking with somebody. They can put it. They can ship it over.
Yeah.
Within few days, you should have the guava.
We'll appreciate
I'll tell you
that.
when you taste that guava, it will be different from some of these
Oh, really?
guavas that you've tasted. Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm still pushing to get that in farmers market.
Right.
Oh.
Everybody's told me when I brought some samples. Everybody was like, "There is a good taste in this."
That's good stuff,
this
Yeah,
guava."
let
Yes.
us give us a taste, so we might
Well,
be able
yeah.
to help you with that distribution.
Yeah,
as long as
actually
there's a
what
fee
The
involved.
two of us
Oh,
are
yeah,
perfect
exactly.
focus groups, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimal fee, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
minimal,
It's
very
all
minimal.
relative, yeah. So let's go back to financing and the funding
Yes.
we kind of started at the top of the show with. So talk to us about that process. Like,
Yes,
even
you know-
kind of walk us through, if you will. Someone has the widget, right?
Okay. You see what it is that Crossland International is an American registered company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an American registered company. I just have we have a branch in China where we have somebody who's able to do the sourcing of the machinery. If I get an inquiry, I need to communicate with somebody in China. So we have somebody operating on that in China, getting all the needs of where to find these products.
Right.
And then we have another branch in South Africa and Zambia. Then I'm the main man here in the USA because of the financing situation. Okay. It's very easy to do business in the USA than other countries because in the USA, once your credit is good and you want to borrow money from the bank, they don't look at how much is in your account. They look at how good are you in paying back the money, because they look at your credit history. Are you a good person to pay back when you borrow? So that's an advantage that I'm taking being here. And so far, I've.
How does that differ in Africa as far as lending institutions?
Well, lending in institutes is there, but the what I can say, the percentage interest rate is not as good as it can be here, and it's not that easy.
You got more people over there.
Let me tell you one thing. Something that people don't understand. A lot of people in Africa are very rich.
Right.
Because why I say that is very rich is that because they use cash. If you walk in a residential area in Africa, all the beautiful houses that you're going to see, those big mansion
There's
houses,
no mortgage on them.
There's no mortgage on
Really?
those.
Exactly.
If you see somebody driving a Mercedes Benz worth $120,000,
Cash is truly king.
Yeah.
Somebody bought that car for cash
Outright. Yeah.
Here we drive.
we
drive on
love
the
credit,
Canot,
yeah.
We
And some
on
of
the
them,
Canot.
sometimes we have to turn those cars back in.
Exactly, because you can't pay it. So you see,
'Cause we weren't using
that tells
cash.
you there is a lot of rich people in Africa, But the thing is that just to get those advantage of the financing is not easy. So what I'm trying to look at here, being here and trying to expand my business, the advantage of financing here, I'm still looking for those international financing institutions, which they are still there because I've been approached. When I registered my company, I was approached by a lot of financing companies who were coming in asking me, how can we help you? How can we work together? So that's another way I'm trying to expand it by finding people who want to work with me.
Yeah.
The business is out there. There is money to make out there.
SBA has what, 20 billion?
Yeah, if you're familiar with the Small Business Administration
Yes.
in the U.S., we've had a couple of folks in from the regional as well as the local folks, and the money that's available, you just have to know how to find it and understand the process, right?
Yes.
But we've had the regional guy in from the Small Business Administration about a year ago, represented $8 billion in capital funding that they've helped allocate to businesses. But now they're for the whole Southeast, $20 billion in funding. But so just to clarify, so you're the founder of Crossland?
Yes,
You started this in
I started
2009.
this company from little things like, if I can remember, I think I must have.
Yeah, what was the first widget transaction?
The first transaction I had, somebody was looking for a car. You know, America is a world. Everybody wants something from America.
Yeah. Right,
you know, somebody saw a car online,
right? Yeah,
but they couldn't get it. You know, communicating with the person who so they asked me, "There's a car that I want to get. You know,
I need that '73 Pinto.
Yes,
pronto."
So from there, I helped the transaction. The guy sent money into my account.
Okay,
you know, I processed to buy. You know, so when I started going back, everybody said, "Can you bring me this? Can you bring?" It could be a cell phone. Bring me something. You know, from there I was like, "Wow, you know, this can."
There's opportunity there.
Yes, you know. So from there I said, "Oh, you know what." I went on a Georgia State Secretariat. I looked at the procedure, you know, opening a business. It was almost free, you know. So my business started from there. Within a short time, a lot of people were now coming in. Once the company was registered, a lot of financing institutions were now coming in. How can we help you? Yeah. A lot of people wanted to give me credit card. I was like, wow, this is an opportunity.
The American dream.
Yes. I'm telling you, this is a classic, compelling story about, you know, the free enterprise system is still alive and well, right?
Yeah, that we take for granted. Most Americans take for granted.
Right?
We overlook it. It's always been around there. It's, you know, it's easy to overlook.
Right.
And so we do.
And here you have a gentleman traveled halfway around the world, see this opportunity, and really take advantage of it. And it's kind of like similar to a show we do here, Entrepreneur Radio. You know, these people that want to be an entrepreneur, but we've talked about a lot, acres of diamonds. It's right there in front of you, and you just got to reach out and grab it. So back to kind of a day in the life of Andrew. So
Alexander.
I'm sorry, Alexander. So you get phone calls or emails. Where's most of your business come from?
Normally,
what about marketing?
What happens is that first thing once I started getting the business from Africa, when dealing with big companies like the mines, you're not just going to tell them, I've got this product I'm selling. Right. They want you to have an account with them. So you register with the mines, you know. Mm-hmm. So every time there is an inquiry, you go on their portal, you know, on their site. They'll send a lot of things that they're looking for, you know. Like,
it's like taking bids.
Yes. So they will send you to say, oh, we are looking for this type of a machine. You
RFPs, is that
yes, whatever kind of, you know, there could be an engine for a Caterpillar, or they're looking for an excavator, a spare part from there and there. So you look at it, and if it's something that you can source, and you can afford to buy, because normally they'll put you on an account. They don't pay you right away. They pay you within 30 to 45 days, you know, which is another good thing. If I borrow money, let's say somebody is giving me an order for $20,000. If I come to an international financing company, they will give me that $20,000 right away. But they won't even ask for it, like we want the whole amount next month, you know, but by next month I'll be paid, you know, so which also as an advantage, if you're a good person who can borrow and pay back, it helps a lot.
So you're kind of the Amazon for industrial and commercial and large.
That's what Alibaba, that's what they do.
Okay, I'm actually working with big companies, like when you talk about the injection molding machine, there's a company in China that I market. They asked, actually, to them, they've even put me on a commission that they've linked their website to
like
my company website.
Program?
Yes.
Affiliate?
So anybody who's looking for any product in Africa,
wow,
and they happen to see it, because my website is being advertised in Africa because of the work I do there, and the people that I meet, give them business cards here and there. So everybody who sees that, they'll go on and.
So you're kind of the Donald Trump of Africa.
I wish I could be.
I wish I could be. Yeah.
I didn't say anything about real estate.
Right. So, I mean, this is just fascinating. It's just mind-boggling to me. And so I went to again at your site. I saw some of your partners and some of the brands that you worked with, GE and
yes, those are the companies that normally we work with. Whereby if the mines tells me we are looking for this product, you can get it for us from GE. Or like for instance, there's a company which is an hydroelectric company in South Africa. They use a video scope which is being manufactured by Olympus here in the USA.
Wow.
So they would definitely even tell you what we're looking for is being manufactured by this company. So you have to go to that company. That company will want you to register with them, because when you register with them, they'll be sending you newsletters, the latest of their machineries and things like that, so that you get updated with them, you know. So
sounds like you got a lot of spinning plates there. I don't know how you manage all this.
It's got a system, of course, right?
Do you have a team, or is it more like affiliates, or how do you
like
organize
I said,
all this?
there's somebody I'm working with in China, where we have somebody working in South Africa and Zambia. But most of the people that are on the ground working, they are in Zambia, because those are the people that now goes in the mines, look for business in the mines. They go to other companies, like go to the hospitals and ask what do they need from the hospitals. But as for here, it's like I'm a one-man show,
right.
Just as somebody as an assistant to help me. Let's say I'm not around,
sure,
and things like that. Yeah, but as for now, that's how it works, and it's pretty much easy, because everything is kind of like online.
Yeah, Well, with the virtual. Like you said, you can do business in time zones around the world.
Yeah.
And then, so most of your U.S. business based in Atlanta, as far as transactions, do you do to folks throughout the U.S. to do business with, or as well?
Yes, yeah. There's just 2 weeks ago when I was in Dubai, I was conducting a transaction. Somebody was buying the products that they were sending to Cameroon, but they had another person who they have affiliated with. So that person had to make the payments for them. Then I shipped those products to them in Chicago. Then they had to send it over.
That's wild, right?
And, Crossland International.
I guess there's
Inc.
a Crossland.
The conduit to the world.
We're crossing the lines.
Crossing
right.
land.
Yeah,
I mean,
get it done.
How many time zones you just went through right there? You're talking about
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago to Zambia to
Dubai.
Yeah.
Well, the funding was there, and the world is flat, man.
Yeah, because sometimes.
And you said Dubai. Yes, I do buy.
Yeah, sometimes you got to sacrifice in business to get somewhere. I do a lot of sacrifice. Well, like I went to Dubai just on a business research.
Wow.
I had to go and look at what they have there, what they are to offer. And some of these countries you negotiate. That's a good thing about it,
Yeah, we don't negotiate too much here. We just we like the blue dot or the red sign or the yellow.
Just push play, yeah.
If you go to China, you look at the TV like that one and you like it. Right. You ask them, how much is that TV? They will tell you, how much can you pay?
That's it.
Really?
That's it. That's the culture everywhere else.
You're negotiating
but
right
here.
there.
They'll be mad at you if you don't negotiate, if you don't haggle.
Well, I read a book a long time ago about negotiating, and they say that, that you always need to kind of offer. If somebody was to sell a car, say it's a used car, and they're asking $15,000. If you just say fine, then they feel like, oh, they could have gotten more, And so from both sides of the table, you need that kind of back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, it's a difference between buyers and consumers. And in America, we are the biggest consumers in the world.
Right.
And buyers, you kind of, you know what you're going to buy and how much you're going to pay for that.
And that consumption fuels a lot of economies around the world.
There
so
you go.
It's
a balance. It's yin and yang.
It's that ecosystem we talk about, yeah.
Yeah. It's
So,
a pro-business ecosystem.
I like that. We just got a couple minutes left here, Alexander. So back to this question about marketing. It sounds like it's you kind of created your own network,
yes,
and people that just know about you. But do you ever have a case where you're trying to break into a new market, and how do you go about that? Is it
on the marketing side? I have the gentleman who works on there's another company from the IT side that works with me.
Okay.
They are the one that does a lot of newsletters and all that on the website, and they do a lot of marketing.
right? Create that.
Are they local?
Online, yes. Mm-hmm.
They are local.
Yeah, online, yes, yeah.
Huh. So what's next for Crossland?
Well, trying to build the business, like I said, the business is out there. There is business there, but the funding is normally what brings me down. Like just when I was coming here from Africa, I came with a sample of pure honey. The pure honey here is being farmed. They farm it.
Right.
But pure honey in Africa, it's right from the bush. The bees were feeding on those pollen from real trees. So I brought the sample for the pure honey because there's a company in North Dallas, and they have a branch in Florida. They wanted to see the sample of the pure honey. So they got that pure honey, and they've already telling me they will get back to you. But as far as they are concerned, that sample was so good. Now imagine if they tell me, Alexander, we want you to bring us 10,000 gallons of pure honey.
Right.
That would be a lot of money. How am I going to finance myself?
Okay. Okay.
and that kind of order, they can pay me within a month,
Right. So who are some of those people that do you have investors, or is it mostly done through traditional bank credit transactions? Or
normally what happens is that there are companies that would just finance you,
Right.
and that's actually what I'm trying to have, companies that are able to finance, with a very good interest rate, and knowing that, you're paying back whatever you're going to.
Yeah, because you have a history of since 2009 of doing these transactions.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
well, apparently they're giving money out on the Shark Tank. Maybe you should go over there and see if
Start with one product and
their
then
percentage
wind
is
up.
so high. What they want,
well, yeah,
they can end up buying you right there.
yeah,
there
they'll
you
bite
go.
you, right in the wallet, yeah. But just don't talk to Mr. Wonderful, yeah, because there's no deals. There's no deals happening there.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be paying royalties for
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. You can go in telling them you want 5%, they'll tell you 55%.
Right.
They take your company away.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we've had somebody with this range of types of transactions. It's just, very interesting. From honey to
Pumps.
We try to get into everything that can bring money. Because like I said, the reason is it's Africa. In Africa, it's developing, so there's a lot of things that are needed.
Right.
Just imagine if you look back before all these buildings were put down, were constructed, how much was needed, how much workforce. So that's what is happening in Africa.
Yeah.
If somebody's constructing a road, imagine what is involved. If somebody's constructing a 22-story building, a lot of equipment and a lot of stuff that are needed to build that will come from overseas.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I've never been to Zambia, but what you're describing, is it correct to kind of say, are they at the point that we were in what decade, would you say, in terms of the infrastructure, like the 50s or 60s or even earlier?
Africa is growing. It just depends on where you are.
But you're kind of saying, picturing like where we're at here with all the infrastructure we have built out. That doesn't exist.
The infrastructures may be a little bit behind, but technology and everything.
That's kind of the yin and yang, right? Because
Yes.
from what I understand is like a lot of these countries that they don't have all the material and the infrastructure and the what we kind of take for granted on a daily basis.
Yes.
But their technology is in some cases beyond where we're at, and it's going to take us a while to kind of potentially. It's going to be a tipping point, because they're building from kind of scratch, and we're having to kind of rebuild a lot of our technology structure.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, in terms of building, everything is coming out from like overseas. Let's say they want to build a building like this.
Right.
So everything you see in that building, they're not going to manufacture them in Zambia.
Really?
They'll come from overseas. Let's say you look at different types of furnitures.
Yeah.
It has to be
Imported,
imported into the country.
Even
So
with
this
all the
is why you
materials
see-
that they have, all the raw materials.
No,
But
the
that's
raw
just
materials
going out. Most of it.
if you talk about cement, yes,
Yeah.
they'll build with cement, but there's other things that are needed, like I was saying, like
Rebar. Or,
the finishing
water pumps
right,
and roofing and
Okay.
different types. So those things will be imported. That's where you see that there's a lot of business needed.
Right.
If somebody is looking for a Mercedes Benz, the Mercedes Benz won't be
Yeah,
built
that's
in
true.
Zambia.
Right,
it
right.
will be imported. So
Yeah.
there's things like that. That
All right.
opens up a lot of businesses.
And again, we're almost out of time, but just maybe a last-minute question here. So, as an entrepreneur, when you're not doing transactions and making things happen, what do you kind of enjoy on your downtime? What's
Well, I'm on the Atlanta Truck Club, and I
The
run
truck club?
Yes, I run the marathon every 4th of July.
the track
Yeah.
club? I thought you said the truck club, like you're driving a truck, or whatever. Yeah,
No,
like the big monster truck. So I didn't really picture you doing a monster.
you
truck.
have to remember it's an
Your
African accent.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I hear
Yes.
differently than most
So
people. yeah.
I run the marathon,
Oh,
and
wow.
I do a lot of exercise.
Okay.
I don't play soccer anymore,
Right.
but I'm getting to the point where I'm enjoying golf. I'm still
Really?
handicapped, but I'm practicing a lot of golf.
Okay.
So-
Good. And
so-
in this weather, you could golf year
Year
round.
round.
Here.
Right, yeah.
in Georgia,
In
yes.
Georgia. Yeah.
Not in
So
Minnesota.
it's like the it's like the East Coast San Diego.
Oh yeah,
without the water.
Exactly.
yeah.
So, so running track.
Mm-hmm.
How did you pick that up, or
As in,
for the Atlanta Track Club? You said, or,
yeah, because I do a lot of running. I participate because with Atlanta Track Club, you are automatically approved to run on the Georgia 400.
Georgia 400?
Like
You know,
Street.
Georgia, what you call it? The Georgia 4th July
Oh,
Peace
yeah,
Street,
the
Peace
Peace
Road Race. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So you run every year once you are a member there.
Okay,
And,
nice.
you know, because I like to exercise
Yeah.
a lot. So I use that and do a lot of exercise.
Work-life balance, man.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna work on that one day. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Peachtree race. I know I've done that many times from the couch, watching it on TV.
Oh, yeah, from the couch.
Yeah. So let our listeners know the best way to get in touch with you: website, phone number, email address, social security number, credit card.
Yeah.
What's your best point of contact at?
Yeah, well, the website is Crossland International. Crossland with double S as, you know, CROSS landinternational.com. Then the email is alex.vomo@crosslandinternational. You know, the phone number is 770-875-7785. That's a U.S. number. I have other phone numbers that you can still get me on, the African numbers.
And it'll be on our show notes,
yes.
too, as well.
On the show notes,
It'll
and
be on
then
the show
Sure.
once they go to your website, they'll have all the information
Yes.
wherever they're listening around the world, whether it's in North Dakota or
Dubai.
or northern U.S., which is some people call Canada, but yeah. All right. Well, Alexandra, pleasure having you here, and
My pleasure.
be safe on your travels.
Thank you so much. Yeah, sure. I really appreciate it.